Hello, ladies and gentlemen. In this video, it is honestly going to be very much the same from the last video. And so I want you to actually treat this video less like a tutoring video and more like a practice problem video. Meaning, we'll do the first one together, but then I want you to try and apply what you learned in the last video and in this video to solve the other three on your own. And then replay the video to see if you got the same answers as Mr. Grapp. The reason again for this is the last video and this video are going to be honestly the same exact process. We're just going to be using a different number. Okay? So you're going to find out if you watch the last video, this is going to be very, very familiar, samey, and honestly a little boring. Repetitive is probably a better word for that. So please take the learning into your own hand and turn this into a practice video rather than sitting there and passively watching Mr. Grapp solve math problems, because I can't think of anything more boring than sitting down and watching someone else solve math problems. That's just awful. Do something fun for a change. Okay. Knocked the mic there. Let's get into this. Supplementary angle pairs. Once again, in algebra, there's that problem. Is we have these mysteries. We have these mysteries of, I don't know what these angles equal. I don't know what they equal because I don't have an equal sign. They're just expressions. It's only until I ground them in reality, I root them with an equals sign, that I can then go and solve for x, solve those mysteries. So, knowing that angles are supplementary gives us that equal sign and allows us to solve for x. Let's dive in. This very first one. Zooming in. Maybe that was a little too far. Actually, you know what? No. Let's solve one of the harder ones. I'm going to solve this one. I'm going to solve this one with you. That way you can work up to the difficulty. Rather than solve a difficult one, let's solve a difficult one together so that you can do the easy ones that lead up to a difficult one. Okay? These angles are supplementary. Not because they look supplementary, but because I was just told, hey, these angles are supplementary. Now solve for x. Okay? If they're supplementary, right now I can't do anything because there's no equal sign. There's no 6x plus 3 equals blah, blah, blah. X plus 16 equals blah, blah, blah. But because they're supplementary, I can say that if I add them together, they will equal 180. All of a sudden, now I've got that equal sign. Now I'm in business. Now I can solve. Okay? Righteous. To solve this, I'm going to first reorganize. I'm going to move my variables next to each other. So 6x and x, those are my variables. So I'll move them 6x, and then that's a positive x, so plus x. I'll move my constants next to each other. So my constants are the numbers without variables, so 3 and 16. So plus 3 and plus 16. And then I'm going to say, hey, if I add all of these up, they're equal to 180. Done. And now I'm going to combine and then move and then eliminate. Combine, move, eliminate. Let's see. Combine my like terms. 6x plus x, well, that's 6x plus, perhaps you remember an invisible 1 right there. So 6x plus 1x, that's 7x. 3 plus 16, well, that's going to be a positive 19 equals 180. Just like in the last video, we're going to move this positive 19 to the other side. So we'll end up with 7x equals 180. And I'm going to move that 19 right over here. Just like in the last video, whenever we move a number to the other side of an equation, we have to switch its sign. It was a positive 19. Now it's going to be a minus 19. Okay. And then I'll combine. So I get 7x over here equals 180 minus 19. That would be 161, I believe. 161. Yeah, 161. Cool. And now I need to get rid of this 7. Well, just like in the last video, to get rid of a coefficient, you divide by that coefficient. Divide by 7. Slice, dice, All that's left is this x. So x, all right, equals, and then 161 divided by 7. I don't know. I think that's 19. I honestly don't know. Let's find out. No, it wouldn't be 19. Anyway, let's just find out. 161 divided by 7, 23. That makes sense because 20 times 7 is 140, so it couldn't be 19. It'd have to be bigger than 19. So 23. There we go. X equals 23. But Mr. Grapp, how do I know for sure that x equals 23? Well, plug it in and find out. Replace the x's with 23. See if you get 180. Replace that 6x with a 6 times 23. Replace that 1x with a 1 times 23. And then let's solve it. 6 times 23, that's 138. 1 times 23, that's just 23. 3 and 16. If everything works out, it should equal 180. So 138 plus 23 plus 3 plus 16, 180. There we go. It all checks out. We're good to go. And there you have it, folks. That's the one we're doing together. That's the difficult one. I want you to try the other ones on your own. Don't worry, I'll zoom out and let you see them. And then you're going to replay the video, and we'll do it together. Just remember, set them equal to 180, reorganize them, move the constant over, combine, divide by the coefficient. You're good to go. All right, zooming out. Zooming out. Here we are. These are the 3 you're going to try on your own. So pause the video, try them on your own sheet of paper, then Mr. Grapp's going to do them individually. All right, welcome back. Let's do them individually. Let's see if you got the same answers as me. All right, starting with number 1 here. Let's lower this a little bit, give us a little extra room. They are supplementary. Not because they look supplementary, but because I was told, hey, these 2 angles are supplementary. So x plus 13 plus 134 should equal 180 degrees. I don't actually need to reorganize it at all because I've got my x all by itself and the constants are already next to each other. So let's just combine. That gets me x plus, and then 13 plus 134, that's 147. So x plus 147 should be 180. And then I'm going to move my 147 to the other side. That was supposed to be green. Let's try that again. 147 to the other side. That's going to leave x on this side equals 180 minus, I'm switching the sign, minus 147. And when I combine, I'll just have x equals 33. Boom. I don't have any coefficient to divide by, so we are actually done. We can box this final answer and move on with our life. But let's just be safe. Let's just plug in 33 and see if we get the same answer. If I replace this x with a 33, I'd get 33 plus 13 plus 134. Does it equal 180? Let's find out. 33 plus 13 plus 134, 180. Perfect. X equals 33, definitively. Okay, next one. I have 2 angles here. I know they're supplementary, not because I think they look like it, but because I was told earlier that they are. So if I add them up, they will equal 180. All right. Let's do some reorganization. I want my variables next to each other, my constants next to each other. So we'll put the 6x on the outside, 6x. Then we'll put the 4 and the 74 next to each other. So plus 4 plus 74 equals 180. I'm going to combine 6x. 4 plus 74 is 78 equals 180. I'll move my 78 to the other side. So that gets me 6x equals 180 minus 78. Again, we're switching the sign once we move it over. Drop down that 6x equals 180 minus 78 is 102. And then last but not least, I divide. Divide by my coefficient. Slice and dice. X equals, let's just pop out the calculator for that. 102 divided by 6, 17. Boom. X equals 17. But Mr. Grapp, how do I know that it equals 17? By plugging it in, for sure. 6 times 17 plus 4 plus 74. 6 times 17. Oh, it's right here, right? It's 102. 102 plus 4 plus 74. If all works out, this should equal 180. Let's see. 102 plus 4 plus 74. 180. Hopefully you got this answer here. All right, last one and the most difficult of the practice problems here. Let's see if you have mastered this. Let's find out. Again, they're complementary. Or no, they're supplementary. Meaning if I add them up, they will equal 180. So I can put that equal sign and start solving this mystery. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to reorder variables next to each other, constants next to each other. So 5x plus 6x, and then 2 and 2. Plus 2 equal 180. Combine. So 5x plus 6x is 11x. 2 and 2 is 4 equals 180 degrees. I'm going to move my 4 to the other side. Please recall, as always, when moving, we just flip the sign. We keep the number the same. So 11x equals 180 minus 4, because it was positive. Now it's minus. Combine. 11x equals 180 minus 4, 176. And then we divide by 11. Why 11? Because that's the constant, or that's the coefficient. We want to get rid of that coefficient so I can just have x equal something. When I divide by the coefficient, it eliminates it. And I'm left with x equals 176 divided by 11. 176 divided by 11, 16. Box your final answer. And if you're feeling skittish, Mr. Grapp, I don't know if it's 16, I'm uncertain, plug it in. Let's find out. 5 times 16, 6 times 16, plus 2 should equal 180. All right. 5 times 16 is 80. That's easy. 6 times 16, 96. Okay. Plus 2. If everything works out, it should equal 180. Let's see. 80 plus 96 plus 2, 180. And there you go, ladies and gentlemen. Supplementary angle pairs. Almost verbatim, exact same to complementary angle pairs. The only difference is instead of setting it to 90, you set it equal to 180. Hopefully you utilized this as a practice video, meaning you paused and practiced and tried it out before I got the answers. It's the best way to learn. Learning passively is super inefficient. Learning actively is the best and most efficient use of your time. So please, practice with me next time if you didn't. Okay, in the next video, we're going to discuss 2 more types of angle pairs, and we're going to add those to our repertoire. I'll see you there.